Chess, nonsense, and analysis. Hi, dear viewers. Yeah, we witnessed sort of the last uh, part of the match, the generations clash of the generations, rather match between Erdogmus against Peter Svidler. And yeah, the last time I had told you that halfway through the score was 1.5 each. But after that, it was a massacre, a complete massacre. Dogmus completely dominated Svidler in the last part of the match, and the final score was 4-2. Basically, he won, uh, the remaining games, and I think there was a draw there. Um, uh, Somewhere. Yeah. Uh, yeah, he won two, so 2.5 basically out of three. And then after that, they played the Blitz match. Okay, in the Blitz match, Svidler was dominant. He won the Blitz match. But of course, in terms of rating, Elo rating and everything, what counts is the classical match, which Dogmus won. Um, yeah, look, I mean, Svidler has not been playing. He's basically uh, uh, retired or semi-retired. It's not an excuse, but it is a fact. And this youngster was coming at him, uh, yeah, look, he definitely, I'm trying to find the words, not to attack Svidler and also not to downplay what Erdogmus did, basically, But very well prepared youngster. And the next game actually that I'm going to show you, to me was a little bit scary because he actually manages to beat Svidler's favorite opening, which is the Grunfeld. Well, not the opening, but he beats Svidler in a Grunfeld. Let's rather put it that way. And I think Svidler was simply caught off guard because this system is quite recently. It's been played recently, and I guess Svidler didn't spend a lot of time analyzing it. Let's jump into it. Yeah, the first move was d4, knight of 6, c4. This is the Grunfeld, of course, Svidler's favorite opening, and he plays bishop g5. Now, the line that we are used to seeing, or in the past, was knight f3 here, bishop g7, bishop g5, and only now knight e4, pawn takes pawn, knight takes bishop, uh, knight takes bishop, and e6. I mean, even Kasparov used to play the black side of this. And white as an option, there's a nice idea, not nice, but rather it leads to interesting position where white plays queen d2, pawn takes pawn, and then queen e3 check. And black cannot block with the queen, so black must play king f8. And but the game goes on here as normal, or white can choose to play sort of like a Carlsbad structure by moving back and then playing e3. As we can see, it's like a Carlsbad. Black will at some point play c6 and white will play some rook b1 before b5 and so on. So this is what I certainly am used to, and what used to be sort of all the rage in this particular line. But now the Erdogmus played here bishop g5 immediately, 94, and then so he's playing it like this other line, but with a modern twist. Uh, well, I checked. It's not the first time, of course, it's been played. There were two players who have been moving this opening quite forward. Closer to home, there's Ezat, Mohammed Ezat, international master from Egypt. He's been playing this in some rapid and blitz games and with some success. And also the German Grandmaster Bluebaum. And yeah, Bluebaum played against Mehmet Yarov and a number of very strong players with this system. So yeah, so 94, they're actually following Bluebaum, Mehmet Yarov. game here. Queen a5 is also possible, but queen d8 is just as playable. So h5. Yeah, the thing is that, we've seen it in that match, which was the Alpha Zero match, isn't it? With this H pawn and so we realize that the modern engines, they favor this type of play as well, the H pawn forward, because you get a lot of space, and they put a big emphasis on space, and we can see, White will get space here definitely. Bishop g7, knight f3. So now black must worry about maybe some h6 even in this position. And this position was reached before, and I think Mamedjarov castled here. Um, but c5 was played, and now d5. And I guess Svidler was already on his own here in this very complicated position. And e6 is supposed to be a very bad move. The agent suggests that maybe black should play bishop to g4 first. We shall see soon. It doesn't seem like there is a big danger here in this position, right? It looks like, okay, I mean, things are going well. I will find a way to punch in the center at some point. But actually here, black already has some serious disadvantage because his pieces are not playing. If we look at the black pieces, the bishop on c8 is not playing, knight on b8 is not playing, not to even mention the rook on a8. So white can accelerate the play and start to attack. So the right idea, of course, is to bring the queen into the game, queen a4 check, and then queen f4. And already here, we're starting to see that black's position is difficult. White is going to castle simply long and then just start to attack, maybe e4, bishop c4, and just start to destabilize black. So Svidler castles long. He still has to solve the knight. What to do with the knight? Knight takes d5. The knight is now centralized, and now white plays e3, denying black the square d4. But now, once the bishop comes in, and then it's all roads lead to the black king. So he tries to play h6. This is logical because this position reminds one of some dragon variations. And it's possible that white may take on g6. And then if you take with the h pawn, then at some point slide the queen back to h2 with further attacks. Even then, when I mentioned the dragon, even then it would not be made. Like, for example, let's for example say, let's make a move that is nothing move for black, and let's say white does play like this and play queen h2. It's still far from mate. Rook e8 is played, and if queen h7 check, the king can move to f8. Of course, white is better. White is attacking, but black is in the game still. So I just wanted to show you, dear viewer, that although the position is difficult, but it's not completely lost as well. It's difficult, but it's not easily lost, right? Yeah. So he plays h6 now. The opponent takes and plays queen g3. I think now Svidler understands that he's in big trouble. He plays bishop f5, but now comes bishop c4. Everything is going towards the king. Too much. You're not even attacking the white king, and already there are some serious threats against the black king. Double check, takes on g6 with the. When I mean double check, I mean knight e7. Double check is threatened. The queen is attacked, but then I want to take on g6 with the knight and bring my pieces in. It's very difficult to defend. Knight here, king h8 is logical, going away from the checks, but now using the fact that the pawn on the h file is pinned, knight goes to g5. More pieces are thrown into the fray. All kinds of threats. But I think mainly the main threat is to the other knight coming also. Knight f4, e4, and g6 will be attacked. Tries queen e8, and immediately, boom, rook takes h6, bishop takes h6, and rook h1. Some serious trouble here. And Svidler resigned, because what will it do? Play king g7, but then possibly rook takes h6. Is there anything better? Like, I'm looking at queen c7. Queen c7 might also be the move. but okay, rook takes h6. We can always play after that. And the idea is, of course, that if king takes, I can play queen h4 check, and then I can checkmate you on h7. Oof. So a very painful loss to Svidler, especially regarding that he lost, or rather his favorite Grunfeld was destroyed. And yeah, so yeah, basically it shows though, it's not easy to play theoretically against someone who's been working with the modern engines and who's working at chess. I mean, it happened to all, even I mean Garry Kasparov, when he came back, uh, well, he did come back successfully. If you remember, he played Nigel Short and won the Blitz match, right? This is way after Kasparov had retired for a long time, but he then came and played against like the other top players, and who were active as well. Because Nigel Short was obviously top, but when Kasparov played him, he was 2,700. It's very high, but it's still not as high as that the highest level. So he could still handle him, but when he played against the highest level, all those guys, Nakamura and them, they were showing him flames. And that was theoretical. He was losing a lot of theoretical games. He even said it himself that, look, I'm not getting any position I can play. As simple as that, right? So, and remember, theoretically, you cannot solve these problems in 1 or 2 days. These guys, they work. You have to work over months and months. All positions and so on, and years, then it accumulates, and we can see. So anyway, very interesting player, this Erdogmus, and yeah, Svidler was an unfortunate victim in the classical. He did get his revenge in the Blitz, but the classical is where it counts, and he will lose definitely some few elo points in this match. All right, so. Yeah, it was interesting. Let's have a look. We'll keep an eye out on this youngster. Definitely someone interesting, and I think it's nice. It's a nice, what shall I call it? Growth for him, not to be thrown immediately to the top dogs, but to gain experience and learn some things along the way. So yeah, let's see what will happen. Anyway, I enjoyed the match. It was exciting. And yeah, let's see what next will come. So yeah. So if you did like, please do share, comment, subscribe, like, and yeah, till the next video. For now, I will say thank you for viewing and checkmate.